Hi, my name is Sharon Thompson. I'm doing a persuasive essay for Speech 101. I am doing a persuasive essay speech on cultural differences in the United States on elderly care. There are many different reasons that people put their family members in an elderly care facility, medical care facility, apartment complexes, assisted living, and not all of them are good reasons. I believe that there are many good-hearted people out there that just need the extra help when things are going wrong and have hard times and physically unable to take care of someone. That's why people like us are there to take care of them. I have been a nursing assistant for over 15 years and am going back to school to be a nurse. I've been told that I'm very well equipped of knowing what I'm doing. I'm a very good aide, and a lot of people say, no, don't go be a nurse, stay a nursing aide, because there's very far and few between of from newbies to what you can't learn out of a book. You develop a passion of taking care of people. And there's a big cultural difference in the United States where you see a lot of nursing homes where people are kind of taken there, and you have your holidays and your birthdays that family members come to visit, but then the visitations become far and few between. I've seen family members come every day, 3 times a day, taking care of their loved one, their wife, their mother, their father, whoever it may be, and it breaks my heart when you can't give every single one of them people the love that they need. And the culture difference is my family history, our backgrounds were Indian. My parents are from the Fiji Islands, and on that island, when we would go to visit, you'd have all your family living under one roof. And if something was wrong with one of your family members, you took care of them. You took care of them as best of your ability, and sometimes you can't do that, and it is understandable. That's why there are places like the place that I work at to take care of people like that. But there's a lot of underground things that people don't know. There's a lot of hurt and pain. There's a lot of abuse. Abuse doesn't have to be verbal, doesn't have to be physical. It can be emotional. It can be simple little things. If I needed something to eat or drink and I couldn't move, how would you know? How would you know to come and take care of me, along with maybe 15 to 20 other people? Not every day is easy. One day might be better than the other, and I tell all my patients and their family members that do come to visit that the reason that there is places like this is because people like you need to live and take care of your responsibilities. But I've seen the cultural difference of it's just sometimes easier not to deal with it at all. Sometimes it's just easier to have someone else do it and probably close a blind eye to it and act like it didn't exist. And I don't understand, like, your parents took care of you all these years. They put a roof over your head, they clothed you, they fed you. And maybe your life wasn't that easy and that simple. Maybe it was a lot harder. And maybe you feel that since you didn't get that in your life that you needed, that it wasn't necessary for you to give back. And the medical facilities nowadays, there's such a shortage of medical employees just to help itself. It's hard to do what you want to do for each and every single one of these people, that they deserve what you would give them, the love and attention they deserve. When I was pregnant, I had to sit in bed and lay in bed for 2 to 3 months at a time because the pregnancy was so horrible, and it reminded me of how could I let anyone lay for that long and without another few physical human being or a touch or a verbal word spoken to you while you just lay there. And it is just obscene to me how people can just throw their parent or their loved one away and not even think twice about what they're doing. And the physical and the emotional, distress that some of these elderly people feel when they're in these nursing homes, they're taking away their humility, they're taking away all respect that they had. I mean, these people did everyday chores and cooked and cleaned and took care of their yard and maybe had an animal and even took care of a grandkid and whatnot. But as soon as it comes to be too hard for someone else to deal with, they're tossed aside. Like, you know, old food and thrown away. I do see in my culture that if you were sick and if your parents were sick, you kept your parent at home and you took care of them and you made sure that their needs every day were taken care of. You clean their dirty diapers, you wash their clothes, you make sure that they're washed and clean, you make sure that they're fed. They go into the doctors on time and they're seen on a regular basis. And if you couldn't do it and you needed to work and take care of your kids, that you found someone that you found responsible and you trustworthy and honest person to do so for your family member. They see people sit in a wheelchair for hours and hours and you just don't get up and you can't move and you can't move your hands and you can't move your feet. So you're constantly trying to put one person from one position to a sitting to a lying down to maybe a recliner. And it hurts me to see when these people actually finally pass away that you might not have seen a sister, brother, cousin, uncle, aunt forever. Maybe not even the day that they were put in there. But as soon as they were gone, they're there and they're in there and they're getting their things together and talking about how much they care about their family, and it really, really hurts my heart to see things like this happen day after day after day. I know a lot of ethnic background families are the same way. I see a lot of Hispanic families living together, a lot of Asian family members living together. If they own a bookstore, they own a gas station, they own whatever, you have your family members working all together and you take care of them. That's what you instill in your family. I instill in my children, and I hope that my children instill in their children, and so on and so forth. I have a 18-year-old daughter, a 9-year-old son, and a newborn baby. And I hope that one day that when I become an elderly person myself, that they can turn around and say, Mom and Dad did this for us, so I want to do this for Mom and Dad. I wouldn't toss them aside and say, well, I'm too busy for this right now. I don't want to alienate anyone. I don't want to make anyone feel bad, because that's what our facility is for, is to keep up with what you can't keep up with. But in the culture that we live in today, in society, things have become more important. Technology, you've got Facebook, you've got cell phones, you've got text messaging, you've got, you work online now instead of going to a actual company or facility that you can work in. You would figure with all this that it would be a little bit easier to take care of a person that you really, really love and cherish. All in all, and in everything that I've said, the abuse is a horrible thing to even have to deal with and see. And one of the better reasons is like there's people like me. I love what I do. I love to take care of other people. It's something that I was born to do. You don't find this out of a book. You don't learn compassion. You don't learn how to relate to people through a book or something that you read. But I hope that maybe this will persuade some people to understand that it's not always about not seeing and it won't be there anymore. It's still going to be there. The pain will still be there. The hurt will still be there. You knowing what your family members going through will still be there. But if you could take that time out and that little bit of love and compassion, a phone call, a send a flower or a card, things like this could be different, and it could start and bridge and branch off to bigger and better things. I hope you enjoyed my speech and have a good rest of the summer. Thanks, Miss Pook. I have learned a lot, and I hope to take on what I've learned here to the future. Have a good day. Bye.